Tucker Carlson came out today and said that he's leaving the Republican Party. Regardless of what you think about Tucker, this is a critical point in the political strategy in the buildup to the midterms. Donald Trump, we know, has gone after Tucker when Tucker basically said that he is not for the Iran war and has had issues with the Republican and the MAGA movement for quite a while. Now, as usual, the talking heads in media and on social media have it all wrong. They have no idea what Tucker is up to, and they're actually jumping to conclusions that just don't make sense. I'm going to walk you through exactly what he's up to, but first, let's get to his announcement.
I would not support the Republican Party. There's no chance I would support the Republican Party. I'm not going to support the Democratic Party. I don't know what I'm going to do. But at this point, how could I or any American voter support a political party that's not loyal to the United States, that puts the interests of a foreign country above those of its own citizens? It's not possible to vote for people like that, and I'm not going to. And I think I voted Republican my entire life. I worked at Fox News, CNN, MSNBC. I've been a consistent defender for 35 years of the Republican Party. I mean, very consistent defender. But there's no defending this because it's immoral, and it's exactly the opposite of what a political party in a democracy is charged with doing, which is representing its own voters, its own citizens, its own nation, and they're not doing that. So, no, I'm out. And if I'm out, then I think a lot of other people are out.
He's not wrong, and obviously the talking heads that are pro-Israel and the pro-Zionists are just using this as a field day against Tucker and trying to position him as having foreign interests and not being a patriot, not ever having supported MAGA. None of that is true, and ultimately what Tucker is doing is something that everybody's missing. So the first place that the pundits went to is said, geez, Tucker Carlson is probably going to be running for president. And then they leapt over to the betting markets, and you can see here that they were all going apoplectic about Tucker potentially running in 2028. It's not at all what he's up to. Marjorie Taylor Greene came out on X, and she said Tucker is not the only one who's done supporting the Republican Party. There's a lot of us that are absolutely fed up and will not support a party that betrays its voters and country. That does not mean that we're turning into Democrats either, but we are done with the America Last Party. And this is important because when you look at the polling, for an example, that took place in one of the strike point elections just recently with Thomas Massie, you saw basically a separation in the polling, in the exit polling, where the 50-plus voter, the pro-Fox News voter, immediately went to the competitor, right? The person that Donald Trump was endorsing. And the younger voters immediately broke for Thomas Massie, and it wasn't even close. So what Tucker is getting at and what Marjorie Taylor is getting at is real. And anybody that's not addressing this bifurcation within the Republican Party is just not being honest with what's going on. And I'll give you an example. Dave Rubin came out and said that, hey, I told you Tucker would be leaving the Republican Party and that Megyn Kelly would come back to Trump. For now, Tucker says he isn't a Dem, but watch, his guests, topics, etc., will only be more pro-Dem and anti-Republican. His goal, meaning Tucker's goal, is to split the Republicans and usher in National Socialism. Dave's completely wrong. This, again, is one of the talking heads that's missed what he is actually doing. So let me give you an example for those of us that have children. When you're trying out for a new sports team and the sports team sells you on what they can do and the quality of their coaches and all of this thing. Basically, what Tucker's doing is exactly what these travel teams do when they try to cater and sell themselves. What he's trying to do is to coalition build and to organize a movement that is clearly breaking away from the populist MAGA movement and into a more America First bent. We saw that break in the Thomas Massie election. Clearly, Massie lost. There's a lot of reasons why, one of which was there was a ton of outside the district, we'll put it that way, money that came into the race. So is Tucker going to be running for president? No, not even close. Is Tucker going to put his name in for the presidential ticket and get onto the debate stage? I would be highly surprised if he did that. What Tucker is doing is he's coalition building, and what he's trying to do is to aggregate this bifurcated group and to be able to come into the negotiating table with whoever is going to be running in 28 and whoever is going to be the 28 nominee. And then he has some bargaining power. That's exactly what Marjorie Taylor Greene is doing. So this America First movement is struggling with the MAGA priorities at the moment and the foreign policy decisions that Trump has made. So they're aggregating coalitions. This, incidentally, is exactly what every other coalition is doing at this very moment, going into midterms and preparing for the 28 big election. Coalition building. Why these pundits are all over the map and not seeing the obvious play that Tucker's up to, it's beyond me. Tucker's not going to run. He's not going to put his name on the ballot to get on the stage. He is coalition building for the America First movement. It's as obvious as day. Let me know if you think I missed something in the news with Tucker leaving the Republican Party, and let me know what you think of Tucker Carlson in general. Do you agree with what he's saying, which is MAGA's lost its way, and ultimately this populist movement has to stay focused on America First priorities, and that is in direct conflict with what's going on with all of the foreign policy wars and the pro-Israel, anti-Iranian movements that are all going on? There's a lot of distractions, but I want to know from you if you agree ultimately with what Tucker is saying. Let me know in the comments down below. If you've yet to follow The Chris Locke Show, we'd love to have you along for the ride. We do news like this every single day, bringing you the truth, bringing you the questions, and ultimately bringing you the hard questions that each one of us has to understand as we see the strategy combining for midterms, the coalition building, coming together for the 28 election run. It's big news. We need to be accurate, we need to be non-emotional, and we need to be America First. We'll see you in the very next video. Be sure to like and subscribe to The Chris Locke Show for the latest America First news, conservative commentary, and the stories that mainstream media refuses to cover. These two videos right up here, they're going to be next. Pick your favorite. I'll see you over there.